I would just go with the Diablo shit. We'll just do it like how we used to, how we normally do. Let me go ahead and bring up Diablo fans or Diablo 3 because they posted the information about 2.1 coming out, so that'll be good for discussion today. The PTR previewed, if you will.
PTR preview.
We're on episode number 13, right?
13 sounds right.
I think 13. Okay.
Lucky number 13.
Now, if you guys are wondering what the show is, we do the show every Friday just so we can get the perspectives of people who don't necessarily have a lot of time to play. This is my homeboy Nate Dogg, best friend for...
God, again, we have to go over 20.
Okay.
Okay, we're 29. Are you 29 yet?
I'll just say 12 to make it easier. Which 12 plus 10 is 22. 22 plus 6... Oh, I'm sorry, 10... Okay, 12 to 22 is 10. 22 to 28 is 6. So 16 years, going on 17. If we say 12.
Okay.
So he's my best friend of 17 years. And we played a lot of games. And we've been playing since back in the days of Chrono Triggers up into the times of EverQuest and up into the times of the newer age MMORPGs, Ragnarok Online, World of Warcraft. We played a lot of games, Street Fighters. We played them all. Especially fucking RPG games. Anything Squaresoft, Square Enix, we're on top of that shit. And what we try to accomplish on the show, at least from the perspective of Diablo, is just that we just try to talk about what's going in the world of Diablo. Nate Dogg shares the opinion or shares the mindset of the casual gamer, not the bad casual gamer that asks for everything. He's a casual gamer in the sense that he has a lot of game systems. He has a wife. He has a dog. He got his family he has to take care of. And he can only play a certain amount of time per week. So it's always good to get his point of view because he's the major consumer of the games and stuff like that.
Just me.
Other people smart ass. And I'm the person who plays in the hardcore market that plays a lot of hours that usually people who have lives they really can't do. So we're just trying to offer different perspectives of what's going on in the Diablo and just keep you up to date what's going on. So basically somebody gets off of work on a Friday, maybe they're coming home, they want to figure out what's going on in Diablo recently, haven't played in a couple weeks, you can come into our little show and hear about what's going on. Basically a Diablo 3
it's kind of like an update for the week.
Show, I think, for the week, like a blog show is kind of involving into.
Blog show?
I don't know. Yeah. We need to start recording this, putting this on iTunes so people can download it and listen to it in their cars.
Yeah.
Anyways, I digress.
Our rage rants, ranches.
Pretty much. So, how'd your week go, man? What new things have you accomplished? Did you find anything new on your crusade or anything progressing?
Last week I found a new weapon. It doesn't have anything special, but its stats are better.
Okay.
And the only reason I am using that is because I'm trying to run and get the Ring of Royal Grandeur.
Okay.
But I still have the old one, but that one is better.
All right.
I got another chest piece, or a gem for my chest piece. And then other than that, like I said, I hurt my back, so it was hard to sit in the chair and play for an extended period of time. So I only got about 2 bounties.
Well, the character looks cool. You got dyed in red. He always looks so demonic and crazy.
That's the Mempo.
And you got to get it on blood shards. And just no roll ring or grandeur yet, but I bet you got a lot of crafting supplies and things of that nature, right?
So you rolled those last time, which I haven't put on.
That's cool. All you got to do is just re-roll them, so not a big deal. And you have a lot. You have so many items. One day we're going to have to sit there and just do a show called Cleaning Out Nathan's Stash.
Well, I have changed the organization. I don't know if you saw it last time. So the bottom tab is for strength-based. Middle tab is tech or dex based. Top tab is strength
and your first tab has all your gems and stuff like that.
So go back to the int based. Int. Does that mean I need these? Because you don't need them.
No,
anymore?
you could destroy them.
Throw them on the floor. You know what also sucks is your fucking little goblin won't pick up things you drop. So if you click on it before he grabs it,
yeah, you're fucked.
You're fucked. Like, dude, pick it up. It's right there.
He's like, I don't like to have sloppy seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't even make sense to me.
That would make a funny comic book sketch. Like, this goblin's like, it's like, did you wash your hands? Did you wash your hands?
He's like, I'm a germaphobe. You've already touched it.
Oh, man.
I can
all right.
up off the ground, but...
Okay, so your character's progressing okay. Let's go ahead and get into the Diablo discussion. They put out these new patch 2.10 PTR review for the show. We'll just be talking about that today and discussing everything that's going on. So the first thing they're going to talk about, they said seasons. Seasons are similar to ladders in Diablo 2. Seasons will offer players in Diablo 3 a chance to periodically start fresh, leveling their level 1 characters and their artisans from scratch. Season participation benefits include exclusive rewards and unique legendaries, as well as the thrill of climbing the all-new leaderboards by completing achievements, earning conquests, or running greater rifts. And as you can see, if you guys are wondering, I'll go ahead and put the link in the description later on. They actually have a picture of how they're going to have it, where you can look at all your previous season characters and stuff like that, and keep track of it so you know what season's for which. And then also, you will have to click and make a new character for a seasonal character. So we already knew that. Let me see here. Conquest. Oh, here's something that you might... You remember how you were saying that you need to bring more stuff to make more casual people want to re-roll characters, right?
Right.
Check this out. Conquest. With the start of each season, players will have the opportunity to earn conquests. Conquests are special season-only achievements offered in addition to the suite of non-seasonal achievements already available in the game that represent a variety of challenging goals. These goals can vary in terms of gameplay and difficulty, and some might be easier to complete than others, with tasks ranging from killing Mathel at level 70 on Torment 6 to finishing Act 1 through 5 in an hour or less. Conquests are designed to encourage and promote an array of different playstyles. Conquests are considered first come, first served, so the first 1,000 individuals to complete a conquest with a given season will be immortalized in the season regional leaderboard. Right now, we're looking for provide 10 to 15 conquests each season, and each conquest will have its own leaderboard. Conquests will also provide achievement points that will count towards your season point total. These points will be provided regardless of what your character placed in regional leaderboards. So, let's say that you like to collect gold, right? You love collecting gold. The first player to pick up 5 million gold conquests or some shit like that, I'm pretty sure it'll be more strenuous than that. But now, it's something in the game that's not necessarily based on the major ladder rankings. It's just a side ladder within a ladder. So even though you may not be you may not be top 100 in the world, you could be number 1 in your conquests, and they have new conquests that come every season. How do you think about that?
I don't like it up until I read that it's limited. Because it just sounded like it was like hardcore version of achievements.
Right.
And then they're like, only the first 1,000. I'm like, oh, that's good. That's good, because then you can go, well, I got this achievement in the first conquest, or the first season. And did it say, do the conquest achievements carry over from season to season?
They don't carry over from season to season. The conquest titles and all the benefits of them carry over to your non-letter characters, and they stay with you for that season.
Yeah, that's actually really good. I like that a lot. That's really interesting. It's got a lot of bragging rights, which, like we've stated before, bragging rights aren't really that important, but
because I think that's
it's
pretty
still cool to look at it and go look at all. Because if you look at my achievements, I'd have to click on this window first. I've got over half, and the only reason it's just at 58 is because when the expansion came out, they added more. I was at like 80% done.
Okay.
So I like doing achievements. It's, it feels like
I think that's pretty cool. Like they're starting to add more, because even if you don't do it competitively, some people, believe it or not, like to do achievements.
Yeah,
they like to do that.
The only reason to make a hardcore character.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think, in all honesty, I think that's something good. It adds it, and just adding a boring achievement, it makes it competitive, but still retains the fact it's just an achievement, basically. So,
especially the hidden ones, those are great.
I think that's pretty cool.
Smash J Smash, that one was great. When I found the Creator's Den or whatever they call it.
Okay, for the next one, and they also say no seasons, no problem. Not in the mood for starting from scratch. You'll be benefit from seasons, which may, by the way, are completely optional. New seasonal legendaries will roll over to non-seasonal pool. We knew about that. In addition, Greater Rift leaderboards will also be available to non-seasonal characters. What that means is, you know how Blizzard says that the only basically fair way we can rank you in ladder, that's not just by levels or gear, is put you in a tiered rift where you climb endlessly, and whatever level you end off on, that ranks you. So it's more based upon your player skill and your gear, and rather than just getting levels.
So is it getting to the exit? Or is it killing everybody? Because if it's
on the floor, it's just kill everything in this amount of time, and you move to the next level.
Okay, because if it was just getting to the exit, Crusader.
Mm-hmm.
You would just, all you have to do is create a Crusader and just run through everything. But if if they stick you in a round room and they give you 30 seconds to kill these 10 people, and you go to the next one, and you're in a round room, and they give you 30 seconds to kill 20 people, and they just keep making that makes more sense. If it's just get from who can get to A to B the first,
oh no,
that Crusader all the way.
And none of those monsters are going to drop loot. So basically what happens is, let's say you get to, what I'm assuming is when you get to the last level that you couldn't beat the timer on, it summons the boss, you defeat the boss, then he drops high quality loot in compensation for how many monsters you killed. So when you're moving through the dungeons, the timed event, you don't have to worry about picking up shit because you'll get all your loot at once on the last boss.
That makes sense. Nothing worse than someone like me who's, I have to pick it up, but I only have 10 more seconds.
Exactly. So they're going to have that not only for ladder, but for non-ladder characters right now. So when the game comes out, if you want to do tiered rifts, you can do tiered rifts, and you can get the legendary jewels that are coming out.
Wait, there's more jewels coming out?
Legendary jewels. And they have so basically you'll be able to obtain all these all the gear except for the seasonal ladder legendaries. You can get access to that right away, which I think is a very good idea for people who don't want to start over.
Yeah.
And that offers something. So it seems like Blizzard, how you're commenting a couple weeks ago how like, oh well, I don't know if I'll do ladder because it's like I have to start over. At least now they still have something in the game for you that you can actually do and rank yourself against other people's in case you don't want to start over again. All right. Greater Rifts. Formerly referred to as tier rifts, greater rifts are a special type of Nephilim that are designed to provide players to measure their gear progression and efficiency. To access greater rifts, simply complete a regular Nephilim rift in any difficulty. When you defeat the Rift Guardian, they'll have a chance to drop a greater rift key. You can use this new key at the Nephilim obelisk, similar to the other rift fragments. This will open a greater rift. If you have members in your party, each player will be prompted to use their own greater rift and keys to join the fun.
So it's not 1 for 4; it's 4 for 4.
Exactly. And then also the way they do it is this: ladders will be ranked this way: solo play, 2-player team, 3-player team, full party team. So they'll have different rankings for how many people in your party.
I'm surprised that they actually have multiple party rankings.
Yep.
I don't really see the point of that because you could literally have a person carry someone and just get them shit from it.
Oh, yeah.
That defeats the point of ladder, does it not?
Well, the thing is, then if you play solo, you're solo. So you see what I'm saying? And I know 2v2 team is technically... Even if one person's stronger than the other one,
so you can't bounce back and forth. Oh, so
they're all separate.
So does that mean that if I were to play,
if you play with me, we would rank up together?
No. So I would have to play if I wanted to play ladder, play by myself. Then when I played with you, I'd have to make another character.
No, you can use the same character. You'll just have another ranking for 2v2.
Oh,
or 2's party.
So, but that still doesn't work because you could have a great character and then.
Oh, hell yeah.
Before ladder ends, you just basically run me through, and I bump all the way up, and now I look good because you pushed me.
Well, you know what I think, too? I think,
bullshit.
In all honesty, if a team has both players that are both really good geared, they're going to beat out a team who's has, like, a really good character, one so-so. I think they're going to go to a max level. Now, can you still get up a lot of ranks you don't deserve? That is very much true. To get into the top rankings, though, I don't think so.
Yeah,
but then again, we do have to wait to PTR, but that's a good thing that you brought up. We might have to bring that up in the forums, and we might have to test it on PTR.
But think of it this way. Let's say we bought a third account for US. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Whenever you're not playing, I'll play the character. And then whenever you're playing, you'll play it. And we'll get, and this is for ladder, and we'll get the character to level 70, 300, whatever, what's the extra called? Pandora Rifts. What is it called?
They're called Greater Rifts.
No. They're extra.
What do you mean?
I can't remember the word right now. Paragon levels.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 300 Paragon levels, level 70 character. A week before it ends, we make another character on one of our accounts, and we boost that person up. So and essentially, you had one character that was being played 24 hours a day, who is way stronger than anybody else could, because other people have to eat, sleep, do this. What if you had 3 people doing this, where literally for 24 hours this character is being grinded, and then you just bring this one person in and just go in and just destroy everything. The other 3 characters just gain levels for doing jack shit and all.
Well, I will say this. For the top end rankings, I think it's going to come down to having 2 powerful characters that can both pull their own weight. To getting into top 100, I think that will happen, but then again, with the teams, I'm pretty sure it will shop all your gear and link into your armory, so people can come in and see your time played and be like, oh, okay, this person was carried. So yeah, you'll still be in the rankings, but then they'll probably still be able to identify you as, oh, okay, this motherfucker just didn't do their shit.
But still, it's especially if you can go through and you could have, let's say 3 people have, a level 300 Paragon and 70 characters, and then you pull one person in.
But we might have to wait and see, because they might do something like, yes, you rank up, but the more like a person who does like a greater rift, right? He gets to level 37, the next time he gets to level 35, the next time he gets to 41. They might actually have something for the whole season where it takes that into account, and you have to at least get to the same amount of rifts run. So it may not just be like I don't think it's going to be like you come in with the stat character, do the rift once, get to level 70, damn, you just shot up all those ranks. I think it's going to average it out or something like that.
Also, because, just the idea that you can push your character up in multi-level and then go over to first person to single.
That's very good, though.
Like,
I never thought of that. That actually is...
Because it's single character.
Like I said, one person's like, stop giving people ideas.
Well, that's what we do. That's how we troll everybody, by getting the ideas out of there, and Blizzard secretly watches our videos, steals all my fucking ideas. Yeah,
that is going to be interesting, because then people... Well, see, for me, let me put on my devil's advocate hat. This is how I feel. It's okay if they want to get a boost, as long as they pay the right price.
That's fine, too. And there's nothing against that, but my point is that you could literally pay Debo for a carry run, get to level 70 in a minute, because he's level 70 with 144 Paragon running Torment level 3 after, a week?
Yeah.
You could get your character up, and you pay $20, and all of a sudden you can contend, and you did nothing to deserve it. So it defeats.
That's
the
very
point of
true.
ladder.
That's very true.
My idea is, I'm surprised that you can do multiple characters ladders. That just is weird to me. That's all.
Yeah, so they'll have a ranking for solo play ladder. They'll have a ranking for two-man team, 3-man team, 4-man team, and that's how it's going to work.
See, that's what happens when you have a thief's mind. You learn to break the rules, and unfortunately, I have a thief's mind.
Okay. And then wall greater rifts are a type of Nephilim rift.
Vision seems
Oh
to
my
be
goodness.
failing me.
What the fuck is that? Pop-ups. Monsters granting different amounts of progress for your progression bar. The tougher the monster, the more they fill up your progression bar. Most monsters do not drop loot. Rewards have been completely shifted to the Rift Guardian. This removes the conflicting pressure of attaining better items time or better time versus picking up all your loot. You'll race against a clock to fill a progression bar by occurring monster kills. You cannot resurrect at your corpse or in town while in the Greater Rift. You have to go to the last checkpoint, which is actually good. Note that if you die in a Greater Rift on a hardcore character, the death will remain permanent. So that's a kind of crazy thing. Now listen to this part.
You can do a hardcore rift.
You cannot use as player banners on the teleport option if the target player is in a Greater Rift. So you can't teleport to a person in Greater Rift. You have to start the checkpoint. Excuse me. Higher Greater Rift levels are progressively more difficult. The difficulty to set the race separate from standard difficulty settings, master, torment, etc. If you complete a Greater Rift before your time expires, you'll be advanced to the next difficulty levels. Should your time be exceptionally good, you might even skip a few levels. If the time instead expires, you'll have reached the end of your current Greater Rift journey, and your best results will be posted to the appropriate leaderboards.
Okay, so here's a question.
Yep.
Are they going to take into consideration your level? Your difficulty? Because it says that if you complete it fast enough, they'll bump you up. So what's stopping you from being able to run a T6, going into normal, and just going...
When you go inside of a Greater Rift, it's not affected by torment levels or anything of that nature. It's its own difficulty level. Oh, okay. So you will always start off at the normal.
It's normal
and
to
then
G6.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then if you kill shit so fast, it's just going to skip you a couple levels because it doesn't want you to.
If you are running Torment 2, they'll probably bump you to Master right away because they don't want to overbump you.
Precisely. Now, the rewards outside of being ranked. Legendary gems. Greater Rifts are truly a challenge, blah, 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 blah. Legendary gems are undergoing significant iteration at this time. You won't see them available on PTR right away. This is the gist of the gems and infinitely upgradable. It provides special legendary powers when socketed into the appropriate gear slot. They can only be socketed into rings and amulets and can be upgraded by completing additional Greater Rifts.
So wait, they can only be in rings and amulets?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
And so when you're doing Greater Rifts, the more Greater Rifts you do, even if you're not trying to compete with everybody else,
you can still get some...
So
it's kind of like runes, it sounds like.
Like a rune, like a crazy effect. Like, for instance, you know how like this shield you have has something like Blood Shield. It ricochets 5 additional enemies.
So if I got that again and put it in my ring,
10.
I'd do 10. Fuck.
So you can see how that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can see how that's going to make this game
That's
broken.
If they are. But then again, you have to go through the Greater Rift to get it. You just can't get handed out. And the only way you can get to a Greater Rift is if you do a regular Rift. And the only way you can get a Rift is if you do bounties. And keep in mind, they don't always drop the Greater Rift token when you kill the Rift Guardian, which means you're going to have to do multiple Rifts in order to get the shard. Coming to a Nephalon Rift near you. Some of the changes in the Grey Rifts are also coming to regular Nephalon Rifts, like the way the completion bar advances based on monster difficulty. In addition, we're slightly modifying the entire mechanism for all Rifts. All players will need to have a Rift fragment in order to enter a Rift. However, we reduce the cost of entering a Nephalon Rift to 1 Rift fragment per character to compensate. Okay. So basically what this doing, they had this thing where people were like doing rifted forward parties where you all do rifts and then one guy would bail out when it's his turn to actually use his shards or whatever and go join another party. Everybody has to have 1 shard to get into the rift.
Yeah.
Which is fair. Okay. The next section is leaderboards. And there's a picture. You guys can check it out on their website. They basically have, you see how they have it?
Vision seems
oh
to
my
be
gosh. Me. I don't know why I get so many fucking pop-ups. I gotta fix that. I probably got some kind of spyware. Anyways, leaderboards. You see basically rank, name, tier, time spent. Oh, that is interesting, huh? Time spent will be interesting. And they have all the different rankings, and they got basically season, hardcore, normal, and then conquest they have here. And then you also will be able to check versus your class as well, and you can set it between 2-player team, 3-player team, 4-player team, so on and so forth.
Okay.
So it's going to be very informational, straightforward. Greater tier Rift leaderboards will be split into both hardcore and normal gameplay modes, as well as seasonal and non-seasonal character to help encourage a variety of playstyles and allow you to measure yourself against similar competitors. We've also broken up Greater Rift leaderboards into the following categories: solo play for each class, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, seasonal only leaderboards. Some leaderboards will only seasonal only for conquest are only tracked on seasonal characters, so these leaderboards won't have a non-seasonal equivalent. The same will be true for seasonal achievements points, and however, because conquest and achievements are account-wide, their associated leaderboards will be split to normal and hardcore, of course. So basically, the new achievements in conquest mode, they're going to have the conquest equivalent and the non-conquest equivalent. Some of the things we talked about combat changing. You remember how we were talking a couple weeks ago how like a lot of the Dex users felt they were cheated because like dodge is not as good as armor. So when you play Crusader, you play your Barbarian. You know when you get strength, you get armor. You know when Witch Doctors get intelligence, you get all resistance, and you know that the Dex users they get dodge to kind of make it all different. Well, the Dex users were happy with dodge, even though I think it was an okay mechanic, because the Dex users, both Monk and DH, have really good passives that give you a lot of survivability, but, you know, people like to run a lot of damage. You know, I won't get into it, but they're actually going to be changing Dex for armor.
So you basically have 2 classes running armor.
Yeah, so basically, instead of getting dodge, now they're going to have armor instead. And I think they're doing away with dodge altogether.
Why not just actually up how much dodge you get instead of making now your Dex class characters are now tanks as well?
That's what I said. Like, you don't really want necessarily a Dex class character to be tanky unless they go towards it.
But now they are.
I'll say this. What I told somebody is they should have did this. They should have made dodge have the ability to dodge anything. Or make it so that when you successfully dodge, it puts a shield bubble on you based upon your dex.
Yeah, something. If turning it into armor basically just makes you a combat class, just like the warrior. I mean, that's the point.
To me,
is it not the point? Like, yeah, I broke tradition by making my wizard a melee class, but strength is melee, dex is survivability, and intelligence is standing in back and throwing shit at people. I mean, that's how the game works. That was the concept. So again, you're taking something, Blizzard, that you've taken years, almost a decade to create, and just wasting it. Again.
I think so.
Again.
I think so, but it's just
Again.
from the easy perspective. I would have said develop the classes itself so it has different mechanics to rely upon, or maybe fix the dodge mechanic.
Yeah, just
But
the dodge mechanic.
for me, it's just I don't. To me, this is like an easy cop out
Yeah, it is. It's basically
because all they got to go in the code and just change it to armor, and then they're done.
Yeah, that's like. I mean, if they are just as a fix it now to get the Dex people to shut the fuck up, but if they plan on fixing it later and making it something interesting, like you said, I'm not too worried about it. But if they're just gonna make it armor,
Let's see here.
how about you just change your fucking class if you don't like it?
This is what they said. A major change coming to dexterity is to benefit demon hunters and monks. Each point of dexterity will grant 1 point of armor instead of dodge chance. Dodge isn't as reliable as armor or resistance and doesn't provide you for some of the most dangerous monster fixtures like Plague or Thunderstorm. In light of this buff, the existing passive that grant you 30% of your dexterity as armor, seasoned initiative and awareness will be completely redesigned. So they are nerfing down the other skills that gave you armor. But then it's just kind of
so
weird because you
you're
had
trading one for the other.
I just said this like they had passes and abilities that grant armor.
I mean, okay, think of it this way. This is going to be an argument area, but most people would say that all RPGs stem from D&D and the like.
Yeah.
Okay. In D&D, monks and certain classes can gain dodge, which means they have the ability to dodge better. Monks gain improved dodge, which means that even if something were to hit you and you save completely. Knowing that, wouldn't it make sense that a monk could stand in the butcher's pit with fire and actually dodge each individual flame? So it's not like they're being ridiculous and just going, okay, your dodge chance is now doubled. That would be easy too. Times 1, times 2. They're just erasing everything they've done.
You're saying that there's certain things that have been in the RPG spectrum for ages.
Yeah.
And this game is built upon the foundations of that.
Right.
And it's really awkward to give the benefits of just say of what a strength user like a brawler would have in terms of being able to wear heavy armor and getting their defense because their strength is so high.
Right.
And giving like a base like a rogue-like kind of class like thieves, rogues, monks that are supposed to be so nimble. And the thing that makes them have their defense is supposed to be dodge. It's supposed to be that element. They're basically just taking it out and making decks like strength. So it just basically points back to the where RPGs used to come from.
Right. So you're basically taking everything you've done and giving it the middle finger. There's other things they could have done. Instead of giving them dodge chance if they really didn't like it, give them damage bonus.
That's true. Like be killed, or at least then you could run all your passive abilities or you can run a lot more defensive skills, but you still have a large amount of damage because you have a lot of that.
Just imagine if all of your dexterity went to your damage.
Yeah,
so for every 10 points of dexterity, you get 1 more damage. So people running around with 500,000 dexterity now do 50,000 extra damage or whatever.
You know what I also have to say too about this. I feel in general that is very dangerous to do because now they're going to have to rebalance it. What if Dex works too good?
Well, what if they fucking decide to take all resistance away from intelligence? Everybody's just going to be a tank class. The reason you have different classes is so there's a different way of playing the character.
And different way to play in the game instead of just trying to make all the characters play similar.
Yeah, I mean, if you could literally... This is the problem I have with Final Fantasy XII. Any character can equip any weapon. Did you play 12?
Yeah.
Any character can equip any weapon. So the person that's meant to hold the gun and shoot can take up this axe and just attack with it. Therefore, every character is exactly the same with variations because this person has better accuracy. But ideally, you're destroying what a character is and making it a shell.
Right.
So now, all monks are a variation of a tank.
That's true.
You are no longer a monk. You are a barbarian with
Dex.
with Dex. That's it. Which, by the way, they also do in D&D.
Really?
Yeah, it's called a variant. It's a barbarian variant where they rely more on their dexterity and not wearing armor. But it's you're destroying the game. You're destroying 1/3 of the game that you've taken 10 years to create by doing this. That's how I see it. I'm sure there are people out there that are going to disagree with me and go, it's not that big a deal. Just wait. Because they're going to get this. Then the strength people are going to go, well, we only had one class forever, and I played them, and blah, 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 and I should get blah, blah, blah. And before you know it, this game is going to crash. Not crash like it's unstable. Crash like nobody gives a shit because it's too easy.
You know, and we're going to have to wait to see how this goes because I'm very interested in how they're going to balance it on the console. Now, outside of Dex, they are improving healing. The next change will be healing. Currently, healing provided by gear isn't very valuable because you receive vast amounts of healing from your health globes. During internal testing, we discovered that if you reach higher, greater rift levels, you really wanted more of your healing to come from your gear in order to survive. To facilitate this, we are reducing the amount of health globes provide in terms of healing. They're not reducing the amount of health globes you get. They're making it so that healing is actually going to be more important to actually have in your build. And also, but buffing life on hit and life regeneration gear to compensate. So they're upping life on hit. They're also upping how much. So you know when you get an armor that has life regeneration, they're going to buff the shit out of it. But the trade-off is they don't want you getting all this HP back from these health globes. They're not reducing the amount. They're just reducing how much they heal for.
Right. So basically, this number is going to be more important.
Exactly. And life on hit and things like that. It says the change is used to make a more consistent experience when you turn up the difficulty or reach higher tier and gear rift in situations where you're not killing as quickly and actually require increased healing. So for me, I have to wait to see how that shit's gonna work out because I don't think that's gonna matter because there's like so many classes
that's just tweaking here and there. That's just making people pay more attention to healing.
I never ever worry about that healing. Only thing I worry about is when my potion cooldown is off.
Yeah.
That's what I worry about.
Well, see, when you're a Crusader, you just run away.
Pretty much. Here's one thing. Cesspools. Okay. While Season and Greater Rifts are definitely taking center stage on this patch, we're also providing some additional content to add more variety to your flavor and adventure mode exploration. Originally designed as sewers of Westmarch, we weren't quite able to include the cesspools list of playable environments and Reaper Souls by the time the expansion launched. Still, we look like to feel an festering, dank world, and we spent some time polishing up for Niflheim Rifts and Greater Rifts. You'll have the chance to spawn cesspool levels while in a rift, and we hope that you enjoy the new randomized landscape. We also have additional treats and horizons, so let's not get too greedy. You'll have your hands on PTR soon enough. I don't know what a cesspool is. Maybe when you click it, it changes the whole environment and you have to battle enemies, but it's just an extra thing that happens in bounties rather than just kill 150 monsters and kill the named.
Well, I think cesspools naturally, like in the world, are a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're always used in a negative sense. So this might be an enemy. That would be kind of cool. This would be an enemy. If you don't kill it, it just summons a bunch of people. But then again, you might want that because then it's a bunch of people to kill.
All right. Well, that's pretty much what they put out. I think that was a good show for today, going over what's coming out with PTR. That's going to be coming up soon. You know, when PTR comes out, I'd like for you to maybe try it yourself and download it. And maybe if you just play 10 hours a week, even if it's just, or 5 hours a week, and you play a couple weeks, you can just tell me how your experience is. It'd be a good experience for you, I think.
Okay.
Also, I think on the PTR, you'll be able to definitely copy over your character, too. So you can copy over your Crusader and play it on the PTR and test the new stuff and see how you like it.
Okay.
So I think we'll definitely get you set up for PTR. So when that happens, I'll let you know. Let's do this. To conclude everything, what was your favorite 3 things we discussed? Okay, let's do the worst first. What 3 things did you hate about what they're doing with the future of Diablo in terms of PTR and the ladders? And what 3 things are you actually enjoying?
Obviously, changing the monk to armor.
Yep.
There's definitely more things that they could do. The other thing was the ladders have groups.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, adding a group screws things up. And that's kind of the problem with it, because some people are going to complain, I don't want to make 2 characters, and then other people are going to complain, like how I did.
Right.
I don't really think there was a third thing I didn't like. Everything else was kind of okay. Like the globe thing doesn't bother me. I think that just makes the game more challenging.
If you had to nitpick anything, what would you choose for the third one? If you're nitpicking,
probably the greater rifts. While I don't really mind, you have to find it, but I could see some people going, I just want to try the new thing. I just want to try it. I just want to see how it is.
maybe when you log in for
You'll get
you get a free one.
So that would have to be a nitpick. I actually kind of like the globe thing. It makes it so you pay less attention to it.
Right.
Healing, it makes it so you actually have to pay attention now.
Sometimes when I see Hell Globes on the phone, I'm like, Hell Globe!
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly. I mean, I do like the greater tier rift. I think that's kind of cool. And obviously the achievements for ladder, what are they calling them?
Conquest.
I really think that's good.
I pretty much feel the same way. Only thing I don't like, you did bring up some good points about the whole how they're going to rank you mechanic, because if you do have a powerful level character that plays solo and towards the end of the season somebody wants to rank up, I just want to rank up in 2s, the 2-player team.
Yeah.
I could literally can carry them through rifts and make them rank up higher the levels than what they deserve, than what they can actually do by themselves. That would be very, very, very interesting. So we're going to actually have to take this time and see how that's going to work. I think we had an overall good week, and you got more blood shards for me to gamble. Let's see how lucky we get. I think we were trying to helmet last week. Let's see if Miss Caldala wants to be nice to you, and I think she is.
I got 1.
So you gotta.
Ooh, it's so much better and sparkly. Chance to release a poison nova that deals. See, that would go good with my siphon one, where I pull everyone in.
Now, do you want to keep the cold damage or no? Because you can re-roll the cold damage for crit
cold
percent
skills
chance.
deal 17%. No, I wouldn't keep that. I don't do any cold.
Re-roll that to crit percent chance, and that should actually help you out a decent amount.
Careful. Actually, I was gonna re-roll it for a socket.
More socket, I would say crit chance, but no socket's fine because cooldown reduction.
Yeah, I mean that's really what I need.
Let's see here. So we got you the helmet. Let's do gloves next. You keep getting these.
What is it?
That's actually good. You could turn it into a trifecta.
Ranged and melee attackers. I don't know if I've seen it before. I know that. Yay! See, Kildala took all 500 last time, and this time she blew me. Like she blew me.
That's
she was
still.
All like, you're so manly.
You and your blood.
What are we re-rolling?
Critical damage.
But I don't even know what you just clicked on.
Critical damage. Shut up. Just you take it like a man. I'm not gonna have you walking around with gloves that are half-assed. Damn, she's taking your money. Critical hit damage increased by 26%. That sucks.
But it's better than nothing.
There we go. 43. I'm a
What's
boss.
the max?
The max is 50. You don't need to go higher than that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then the 2-piece bonus, Rain Lead Takers. Well, when they redo it, it'll be good. Now, let me see if I can do the cold damage for this bitch.
Socket, command socket.
You want crit chance. You don't want a socket.
But I like the cooldown.
No.
Well, if you get socket, at least click it in case.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Can you even get critical hit chance?
Yeah, you can. This is looking pretty grim now. Okay. Yeah, you're out of money. I'm sorry.
Okay.
At least you got a better gloves now. They're trifecta.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they buff it, you'll have something to do.
So if I get that ring, I could actually get thrown damage.
And then when they buff it, then when they retroactively buff it, you'll have something to use or whatever.
So if I actually end up making that where you suck everyone in,
poison,
chance to hit poison when it deals.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd suck everyone in. The thorns would go off. The spikes in a circle. The pants would go off.
Pretty much.
That would go off. And
Something
then the
along those
explosion
lines.
would go off. Yeah. So as of right now, I see 2 potential types of builds. That one, and then the shield throw.
From your perspective.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What? Please. So that's still cool. And then I can give this one to my barbarian. Even though I
Oh, that's true.
don't know the point of.
Your Crusader jumped up 40k damage. I think it was a good day for him. He's like, yes.
Yeah, hey.
Right on, dude. Well, as always, we appreciate you guys coming watching the show, Diablo 3 from a casual point of view. Pretty interesting stuff this week because they put all the information about a ladder. Look for the future video of next week when we talk about to see hopefully if PTRs next week. Now, Dave, do you think it's going to be out by next week or no?
I have a hard time believing it's going to come out when they say it's going to come out.
They said by the end of the month. So do you think they're going to maybe do it next week or they might push to like the last absolute couple days?
It's going to be the last couple days.
And they even added like a little extra, and if development times change or something like that, we can actually make it come out later.
Yeah. Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think is going to be out by next week? Scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, it's not coming out next week. Yeah, I don't think so. So what do you think? Do you think I should change the skull to the Mempo mask?
You don't even have any money to change your shit. You need to get gold first, motherfucker.
What do you think, though? Do you think I should keep it as the skull
I think
hat?
you should escape. No, you don't have money to waste on that shit. You
Yes,
have
I do.
get a re-roll. Oh, wow.
I don't want to look like I'm...
Anyways, thank you guys for watching the weekly show. We're on episode number 13. Next week will be 14. We've been doing this for a while now, haven't we?
That would be 14 weeks, so it's actually 16 since I went out of town for 2 weeks. 16 weeks, that is 4 months.
It's not bad at all.
Well... Yeah.
High five moment. Oh, yeah. Too cool. Ah! All right, we'll see you guys later. You guys have a good day.